I got my head out the sunroof, I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got...
Hello everyone and Happy New Year first of all. I hope you all had a safe and healthy New Year holiday season. I wanted to start off the new year with a very beginner friendly project. Not project, projects. We're making 3 different vinyl projects today. When I was thinking of this video, I thought of when I first got my Cricut and I was mainly working with adhesive vinyl. So if you are a beginner watching this or you just got a Cricut for the holiday season, then these are some great tutorials for you to start out with and just to kind of get the feeling of using the Cricut, using vinyl, and the accessories that come with it. If you're interested in this kind of content, some Cricut projects, Cricut tips, and craft business tips, then please subscribe to my channel. 2022 has a lot of exciting, fun things for Amy Makes That, and I can't wait to announce them so soon. Alright, now we can get into the tutorial. The first Cricut project is a personalized mug with adhesive vinyl. Open Cricut Design Space and click the text button. Type out any word or phrase and just be mindful of the size and length of the text. And I will tell you why this is so important later on in the video. Choose the font for the text. Mine is from my favorite website known as creativefabrica.com. I have a monthly subscription with them and I mention Creative Fabrica in almost every video of mine because they're that good. The font I'm using is called Montage and it will be linked in the video description in case you need help finding it. I will click on it and as you can see, I've already downloaded the font. I have several font videos on my channel explaining how to download fonts and other popular font websites that I use. So to save some time, I won't show this step and add that playlist card right here for you to check out later. I'll search the font in Design Space and then it'll change the text to the font Montage. I made the size of it a bit smaller and maximized the letter spacing for that spaced out effect, which I personally like. The size of it is just about 3 inches and I wouldn't go any smaller than that because the smaller the design, the harder it is for the Cricut to cut the tiny text, especially with this thin font, so the thicker the font, the better. I also changed the color of it since I'm a very visual crafter and I'm using brown vinyl today. Make sure to save your project and click Make It once you adjust the size and the letter spacing. You don't need to do anything on this page, so click Continue and set your base material. Now usually you choose vinyl because we are using adhesive vinyl, but in my TikTok Cricut hacks video, I found that cutting on the iron-on setting makes it easier for weeding. This is a personal preference, of course, so before choosing the iron-on setting, I'd suggest doing test cuts with both settings to see which one you prefer. I cut the vinyl off camera, and then you can place it down on the 12x12 standard grip mat. Ignore how dirty mine is. Then I'll take my favorite tool, which is the brayer tool, and firmly press the vinyl onto the mat. Then insert into the Cricut, click the arrow button, and once the Cricut logo button flashes, you can press it for the Cricut to cut your vinyl. Once it's done, click the arrow button and remove the mat. To remove your vinyl, make sure to flip over the mat and the vinyl comes right off. Next, I'll use my weeding tool and weed the inside of the letters first. Then you can remove the background so just the text is remaining. Use your favorite transfer tape when transferring vinyl to an object. Mine is from the Dollar Tree and that is also linked in the video description. Apply it to the design and scrape it with the scraper tool. This will ensure that the vinyl is getting adhered to the transfer tape properly. We'll move to the other side of my office where the mug is and remove the backing from the transfer tape. If you're a beginner, I'd suggest using a ruler beforehand to make sure it's aligned. Then you can carefully place it onto the mug and press it down. Scrape it down again with the scraper tool. Spend a lot of time on this part so the design is firmly adhered nicely onto the mug, and then remove the transfer tape and you're done. This mug is safe for hand wash only and is one of my favorite beginner projects for any Cricut users out there. The next beginner project is this DIY soap jar label. This project was featured on my first live craft with me last Thursday on Instagram Live. I'll definitely be doing more of these in the new year, but in case you missed it, the entire live video is on my Instagram under the video section. I shared a ton of useful tips in that video, so be sure to watch the full tutorial on there and follow me on Instagram for the next live craft with me. Again, we will open Cricut Design Space and click the text button. Type the word you'd like on the jar and I used a font from, you guessed it, Creative Fabrica. This one is called Mother Caramel and it'll be linked in the video description. I searched for it and selected it, and then you can minimize the size to about 2 inches. This size worked perfectly with the jars I used from Amazon, and again, please be careful if you decide to go any smaller than 2 inches so the Cricut cuts it better. Once it's ready, we'll click Make It and click Continue right away. The Cricut will connect to your device, and I'll select the iron-on setting, because again, that hack is the best one ever. I'm using StarCraft permanent vinyl from 143vinyl.com and placed it on the mat. Use the brayer tool to adhere it to the mat and then insert it into the Cricut. The Cricut will cut the design, and then you can remove it once you're done. Weed the inside of the letters first and then remove the background. I applied the transfer tape off camera and then scraped it down with the scraper tool. Before applying vinyl on anything, I like to dab a little alcohol on a cotton ball to the object, especially glass or ceramic, because it cleans the surface and removes any dust or oil to have a nice clean application. Once it's dry, you can apply the design onto the jar, scrape it down with the scraper tool, and remove the transfer tape. This is a great decor piece for the home and can be a great gift as well. Again, you can find the full tutorial on my Instagram page. The last beginner project is this cute mirror decal for your passenger car mirror. Open Cricut Design Space and type the personalized saying you want. I chose cute as always and then changed the font. This one is called Eucalyptus Spearmint from Creative Fabrica. I changed the color just to see it visually and then adjusted the size. I'm going to head out to my car and say hi through the mirror. Use a ruler to measure the size of your mirror, and this will all depend on your car and the size of its mirror. So I made the design 3 inches, set the material to iron on of course, and fast forwarded a bit to the Cricut cutting the vinyl. Remove the vinyl from the mat when it's done, and I cut the excess vinyl off to save that vinyl for a future project. You'll first want to weed the inside of the letters again, and then remove the excess background vinyl when you're done. Apply transfer tape, scrape it down, and let's head back to the car once you're done. I also apologize that this part was blurry. My camera was being really rude that day, but I carefully placed it onto the mirror, scraped it down with my scraper tool, and then removed the transfer tape. Mirror decals are easy to make and sweet reminders. I loved how this beginner project turned out. Now let's head back to my outro. Thank you so much everyone for tuning into today's video. Let me know what your favorite Cricut project was, and if you decide to try this project yourself, please do tag me on my Instagram. I love when I get messages from you all and saying that you made a project. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button, because I post new videos every single Monday on this channel. Happy New Year again. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!
Driving down the freeway at night, I only got one thing in the back of my mind. I'm feeling like this might be my time to shine with you, with you, with you. I got my head out the sunroof.